First things first, mate. Thank you for coming on.
No,
I appreciate
it's a pleasure.
Training session before here as well.
Yeah.
Got put absolutely through the ringer, but loved it.
Yeah, it was a good session, wasn't it?
Very good session, mate. Ergs, no running.
Yeah.
Loved it. What's the next thing coming up for you?
So, Manchester, it'll be 3 years since I started HYROX to the date, basically. And I'm going to go into the pro category. I've cancelled a few HYROXs, Manchester and London, just through because my dog's had puppies, Bella. So obviously Cam's got a big team, which she needs to obviously be there to support her athletes. So I had to stay home and be a granddad and, dog sit. So I enjoyed it though, it was good, but I was still watching everyone race, watching the live feed coming through, because I always watch the competition and just look at the splits and where I might compare myself. So Manchester's my next one. I've dialed in on a program which will be, I'm hoping, I don't want to jinx myself, I'm not really committed to a full program. I've only, done half and then done my own thing, just being, say, what's the word, naive, thinking I can, thinking I know it all sort of thing. Cam's doing me a program for 8 weeks and step up to the pro.
What do you think's like the biggest thing you're going to have to work on for that pro race?
Strength, 100% strength. Because I'm 77 kg. They're averaging probably 84, 85 kilos, these pros. I'd say that's the ideal weight, to get the strength. If you're too big, then it's obviously you're losing the running but yeah, I want to get up to 80, probably 80 kg, put on 3 kilos and still keep
your fitness with running.
My fitness with running, my speed. So I'm pretty strong for my size. My strength endurance is good. But it's just having that bit of extra strength will speed the sled up and give you a bit more power in the ski and the row and stuff like that. The endurance is there. It's just that little speed in the actual station work. Every second counts, doesn't it?
100%, especially when you're going for like flags and you're trying to get on the podium and things like that. With the running, like we were just saying before we obviously started, do you feel like a lot of people don't understand there's a lot to work on with running when it comes to technique and things?
Running, like people say it's 50%, but it's more because 50% of, obviously there's 8 stations, 8 workouts, 8 runs, 8 workouts, but then you've got all that rock zone in between. There's another K of running in that, roughly. Well, if people are doing, my probably average rock zone time is 3 to 4 minutes, which it's a K of running if you're doing your splits in that, So I'd say it's 60%.
Yeah, and the runs where you're recovering the most as well.
You're running in your farmer's carry. You're running from side to side with your rope pulls, and it's you concentrate on your running.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Have you found there's a point in your running where there's been a weakness that you've had to work on?
So I'm just started with Fix My Run, just for efficiency on how I run, because I run heavy-footed. I heel strike first, which if you look at it, it's you're braking. If you heel strike, that's what I've been told. Whereas if I land mid-foot, you're already in that position to pull back
towards you and push off.
Push off.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm braking, rolling, pushing off.
And again, that's wasting those minutes, seconds.
Yeah, seconds. So if I can knock 10 seconds off each run. it's a lot, you know, at the end of 8 runs.
With that though, when you're changing, say, technique on a run and you're so accustomed to that style of running, do you feel like sometimes it might set you back before it then pushes you forwards?
What do you mean by?
So obviously now having to transfer over from landing on the heel to then landing onto mid-foot, and then subconsciously having to think about that when you're running. Have you found that it affects any sessions or?
So this is you only do. So in the Fix My Run sessions, I've only been doing probably 20 seconds, 30 seconds max interval, because he said if you go out now for a 5K and totally concentrate on this, he said it's too much for your brain. You're wasting too much energy, and you can't learn something like that. You've got to do it over time and subconsciously trick your mind into taking it on board. So then when it comes to, I don't know, my 8 weeks of my sessions and doing little bits of homework on that, so say if I do a bit of treadmill work, right, first 20 seconds of your 4-minute interval, concentrate on your technique and then go back into your normal run. So then by the end of your 8 weeks, you subconsciously will just mould into that. So that's how they teach it, Yeah,
because I know a lot of people with, like, say, the sled push or sled pull, they start thinking, oh, my technique's not right, I need to change it. And then they'll go into the race that they've got booked a week later and try and use a different technique. And then it's like, you've never done it before. Just stick to what you know and then try and add that in when you're training.
Like, you'll see them and they'll get tired and then they'll start pulling, like, the pulls,
one of the most taxing ones,
You watch them and they first they'll walk back with it, and then they'll start using hip thrusting it and pulling it with their arms. It's like, stick to the thing with HYROX. I think you need to be consistent. Consistency will win, or win you the race, or win you the PB. If you're trying all sorts of technique, your energy, your head, more so your head, your mindset is off, because you're trying too hard at 4 different techniques, whereas it's out the window.
Like
Stick to what you know.
The focus as well.
Yeah, the focus.
I was trying to focus on doing that technique. Like you said, that takes energy out of you. 100%.
And then you throw in some mixer in because you're getting tired. And then you're looking at next person. Oh, I'll try their technique. They're beating me now. Do you know?
Yeah.
You've just got to keep stick to what you know and stay consistent with it.
And trust what you've been doing in your training.
100%.
Yeah, I find it difficult sometimes with running, of trying to pick up different techniques, and I've done the same thing where I watch someone and I'm thinking, let me just try that, and then 5 seconds in I'm like, whoa, I'm absolutely knackered.
Because you're not used to it.
Not used to it. One of the main ones for me was having my traps too tight or having too much like tension in my neck. I'm trying to run like a carpet carrier and not like rotating enough, like through my spine, like thoracic rotation, of trying to relax my arms and just turn a little bit more when I'm running. And just little things like that, even the elbow position, the way your arms move. And there's so much, obviously, you can pick up, but you don't want to throw the kitchen sink at it before a race and then knack yourself trying to focus on it.
Well, that's like I used to run, like the tight shoulders up here. It's just, like doing it now, you're just using energy. Whereas if you just relax and
let your arms flow.
There's loads to it. It's like you think you're the best runner in the world, and then it's when someone videos you and puts lines on your body, and then... Because that's what they do on your assessment, and then they'll slow it down and then you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Mate, like I was saying to you, when I done my hip and I got back into running, I've watched videos, they're so embarrassing, and it's literally like I'm dropping a shoulder each time.
Well, that's what I was energy. Dropping 6 inches on one side, but I think I've got a little bit of, I had a bit of tear in my calf, it's repaired now, but just not strong. So subconsciously, your mind's trying to protect that when you're running.
Yeah.
And then he slowed it down on the video, and I was dropping so far on my right side, but then your legs doing 6 inches more pushing than your left. So then that over a K.
Yeah, it's going to tire out more than the other leg.
Yeah. So it's just...
Yeah. How do you maintain that focus in a session? So like you've said there, when you are doing the sled pull, the sled push, the ski or the row, are you just that technique's just, it's second nature when you go in and you just think, right, I'm just back to training? Or is there times where you start to lose focus and then you have to be like, no, I need to get back on some my normal technique?
So it's like that session we've just done this morning. So I'll say on the ski, I'll try and keep to my pace. So either my HYROX pace or just under, maintain that through the full 40 minutes. And it's same with the wall balls. I try and hit that number or try and hit that pace on the rower. Because if you blow out and you've still got 15 more rounds left, what's the point?
Yeah.
And then you're trying to catch you. It's no point.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that when they go into the ski and then the sled push. They just go, right, I'm just going to move this. I did it the first time I did my first HYROX. Just went for it as fast as I could, tried to get as much done as I can.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, you go into like the next run or the sled pull, and your body's just completely taxed.
Yeah.
And it's that consistency.
Consistency, 100%.
I think that's a massive, massive part of it. Was there? I know we spoke about it before we obviously started, but what was the thing that you went into to get you into HYROX first, like when you first started training?
My first ever sport was boxing. At school, I was no good at football. And then on my estate, it was like a labour club. Anyway, Friday night, there was this boxing event on, so like a few lads off the estate went. It was only like 13, 14. Anyway, I just went in and it was packed, and obviously it's local lads from the next like sort of town up. Everyone just cheering the name, and I was just like, whoa. Yeah. Anyway, the next day I went down and trained there, and then a year later, boxed on that same event, and my name were just like obviously all people from my school and all my mates and my mum's mates and it was just like I felt like it was the Billy show. Do you know? There's only one Billy blower, and I was loving it. And then that started that off. I had 20 bouts up until I was like 18, and then learnt how to drive. Started going out drinking, meeting girls, and then it just
stopped.
My performances were going downhill then, and I just thought I don't want to carry on if I'm not
fully committed to it.
Fully committed, and being young, you just everyone does it. If you do football or whatever, everyone just you're either in or you're out, and then as you do, like started bodybuilding, 3 sets of 10s, doing on the weights, back and buys and all that, but still kept my running probably say once a week. Never really ran on the road, neither, just always like country parks or trails. So I kept that like sort of running with it, whether it was fast or so I just went for a run. Did that, and then for years, and then got into CrossFit then for, I don't know, 6 months. And then started at a gym that I opened up, started doing the functional fitness competitions, NFG, which is now AFX. And that was like 4 workouts over the day, strength, endurance, teamwork. We was doing that in teams. I just love that, competition side of it.
Yeah.
And then Manchester HYROX, which was 3 years ago. First one there. Heard about it, booked it, never thought, it's 8 1K runs, 8 workouts. Got there, walked in, I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. Nothing like it is today. Like, there's 600 people competing on it. So it was empty. Like, you go to Manchester now and you can't walk. It's packed. It's like sardines. 5,000 athletes, on the day. And then that's how I got into it. Raced got humbled, like 1 minute 13, because I was so focused on winning.
Yeah.
I was the third into the ski, first off, and like I lead from the front, you know, to the guy who was leading. Ran off. Did come in early on a lap. Just made loads of mistakes, you know.
Yeah.
Pulled an extra sled pull, and then just my head went, and that's what I mean. There's a lot involved. Whereas like you go for a marathon,
you know the distance.
It's just running. Basically, you've just got to stick to your pace.
Yeah.
Whereas there's loads to think about. Thinking about, right, how much energy am I using doing this? How fast am I going to go there? Do I need to pull it back there?
Yeah.
How many laps am I on? Do you know, there's so many different variables in it. You only need to mess up one.
And then the rest of the workout's gone. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's good, though, that the distance and the exercises do stay the same.
Yeah.
Because it kind of is like the aiming towards doing your first 10K. You know what it's going to be on the day.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously there's some workouts and competitions and things where they're great, but for somebody who's essentially wants to do the first fitness race, it's like they don't know what they're doing. So sometimes it can be a bit like anxious for them sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's good that it's like, these are the amount of runs you're doing.
Yeah.
This is the amount of workouts you're doing. You know how to train for it then sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere thing that you mentioned there, I can imagine that when you walked into the boxing ring and then walking into the HYROX, it was that similar sort of like everyone's buzzing sort of thing. Buzzing off each other. I found the same when I done my first one. I was like, whoa, this is mega.
Yeah.
And I had the same experience of, I'd got 2 7-minute penalties, and then I went all out on the ski and the sled push, and then was just absolutely pasted for the rest of it.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
It's like everyone does it, and it's like, what would you advice be for your first HYROX? Like, do not go out trying to beat a time, because you're not going to do it. I can guarantee you 1,000,000% you are not going to get the time you've done in your simulation, or you've done training, or it's not going to happen.
No.
So forget that. Just go out, enjoy it, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the exercises, just get a feel for it.
Yeah.
Finish it with a smile on your face, rather than finish it and look at that board and think, oh, I've done 15 minutes over what I thought I was going to do, because that's what it'll be, because it'll humble you.
Yeah.
If you go out trying to keep a time or keep a pace, or for your first one, I can't explain to you what your first one is. Do you know what I mean? Even your second, third, fourth one.
Yeah.
I'm learning now that Manchester will be my 22nd race.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning. Do you know, even with doubles, every race is different. The open category compared to the pro category will be, it's a totally different race.
Yeah.
Do you know?
How do you find that difference between the pro and the open? Is there anything you take differently in regards to your strategy going into it?
I've done pro once before after a doubles 2 seasons ago, I think it was. On the same day. So I did doubles in the morning and then did pro at night time. And I just thought, oh, do you know what? I've got a ticket there, and then I thought, I'll give it a whirl. I got to the sled pull. I got to the sled push. I thought, right, here we go. It's a step up this. Pushed it. I thought, yeah, that's all right. Got to the sled pull. I yanked that rope and it would not move. I was like, wow. Wow. And then again, my head went. I was trying all different techniques. Do you know, pulling with my arms bent, which is another, you just absolutely zapping your arms.
Yeah.
There.
And you got the burpees next.
Yeah, it's just, so I train heavier weights now anyway. Like I don't train the open weights. I'm always training heavier. So I think I'll do all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping I'll do all right anyway. So
yeah, definitely. How do you find managing, like, let's say a 12-month calendar of events? Is it just HYROX now, or do you still like go in and out of different, say, competitions or races that you want to do?
So last year it was just focused on HYROX, and then this year I've done the Deadly Dozen, which is another mega race. That's 12 400-meter runs and 12 workouts with dumbbells, kettlebells, and plates. More of a sprint race than HYROX is more of like
Endurance,
a slog.
Yeah.
Do you know, if you like want to compare it like sort of that way? But similar sort of concept. But I hold the doubles record for that and the singles record for that.
For the Deadly Dozen?
For the Deadly Dozen, yeah. But they've only had, 6 races? Because it's a new race. But next year, the season's finished now, but the next year they've got events all over the country. You've got them, it's starting in America. Got them starting in Dubai, so it's gonna blow up big. So that record what I hold will get taken. Like, it's just that's just common sense.
But you can say that you've had it.
Yeah, I'm not stupid, and I'll go to break it again if it's, do you know, because records are made to be broken. Yeah, do you know 100%. What I mean? And that's what keeps us all hungry and keeps us all competitive. And so yeah, I've done that, and then did a half marathon the day after Deadly Dozen, which was like a last minute ticket. I ran under someone else's name, but I want to do a couple of running races, and just the HYROX and Deadly Dozen I'll probably stick to. Anything barbell and that, my back's done in from it. You know, from probably just doing the wrong technique or just going straight in, not warming up, and just trying to throw 70 kilos above my head, you know, from the floor. It's
taxing.
Taxing,
yeah. 100%.
Power, like, that's where you get you gain your power. But if you're not warming up and you're not training proper, which I've not done, I know that, and my back's,
it's too much risk. Too much
risk of injury. Whereas with the HYROX, it's very simple movement, so it's very low risk.
I'm so glad you said that, mate. I said this once in a podcast, and someone slated me for saying that. I said HYROX was simple, but I was meaning the exercises. It's not a simple race. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah, very difficult.
The exercises, they're easy to enter. Anyone can pull a ski,
can
pull anything.
It's like I've ran on the same course past Hunter Sheriff with the world record holder. Do you know? While I've also ran past Sharon from Scarborough. Do you get what I mean? That's how good it is, and it's you're not separate unless obviously you're the elite 15, which is like everyone's watching that because it's a mega race and it's the best people. But when you get to, say, if these elite 15 come into just to race to break a record or just to do a normal, then you've got the chance of racing against them. Do you get what I mean? Which you don't get that, whereas in a marathon,
they're already gone.
They're gone 15 minutes before you start. You know, it's like you've never got that to run past them or they run past you. Do you know?
And that's what makes it so good in the atmosphere. So good as well. We did done one in Paris. I think it was about 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, and we went
HYROX.
The HYROX. Sorry, I did a solo, but I went with
Nice. Was that?
No, in Paris.
Paris,
yeah,
right?
in Paris. But we went with family, and we was doing Disneyland the week after. Oh, it was my little brother's turning 3 next month, and I managed to convince my mum and my stepdad, who've never trained, to just book on a doubles, mixed doubles, mate. I was just do it, you'll be fine. And they turned up. They did it in like 2 hour 10, but it was mega watching them. And we were just
did they enjoy it?
They loved it, mate. Loved it. Like, don't get me wrong, my mum was doing the wall balls with the box underneath at the end and stuff, and they was both like knackered, but they was buzzing that they did it. And that for me, I was like, oh, it's just so good. Like, the atmosphere was mega and stuff. And then obviously I'm there then going, oh, my splits need to be like that, blah, blah, blah. But then I thought, you know what, tomorrow I'm just going to enjoy
Just
it.
enjoy it,
And
yeah.
that was probably the best race I've ever had.
Yeah.
Easy, by far.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can get caught up on like...
Putting pressure on yourself.
And data.
Yeah.
Split this, split that, split this. But like you said, if you just enjoy it, you'll probably race 10 times better.
Yeah. And I think when you start chucking data into it, you've got to be experienced. So, like I say, you've got 5-10 races before you want to start, because you learn every race and you start putting that in, and your head's just going to be mashed because you can't do what you want to do because you've not enough experience in my eyes anyway.
And it was like we were saying about the running, where the focus to change your technique, if you're trying to apply that focus on what run split you should be doing, sometimes you just need to focus on carrying on running, or carry on pulling the sled, not looking at your watch thinking, I've only got 30 seconds left. It's like, just pull the sled, focus on trying to get through this workout as quick as you can.
100%. And like going back to where you just said you just booked on where you're on a family holiday.
Yeah.
Like these are all the worldwide.
Yeah.
So you can go for a little weekend away and do what you love doing instead of going to Barcelona and going on piss for 4 days. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You go away, do your event, have some nice food, come home. You know, it's
that's what we've done this year. We've done Madrid, which was the first one which I told you about when we was in the gym. That was like very start of this year. Yeah. It might have even been like last year, that one. And that was when I was like, wow, I need to train for this proper. Yeah. And then started training for a couple of months, and then we did Berlin as a doubles. And that weekend,
Berlin was mega, wasn't it?
Mint. And the running around outside with the planes and that was mint.
Yeah.
And then we had a good weekend there. It was I did it with a client, and he was with his missus, I was with mine. Mega weekend, come home, and then after that, I'm going to book Paris. And then we booked that which was like 2-3 weeks ago. And like you said, it's a full holiday. Yeah. And you're not going and having that mentality of being a Brit who just goes abroad and just drinks all weekend and then comes home dead rough. Yeah. You can do both. You can have a bit of a drink, but enjoy yourself.
Enjoy what you love doing back home.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Because I've had a guy on the podcast before, and he talked about not post-holiday blues, it's back to reality blues. Yeah. Like if you're going and you're doing something that you do at home, when you come home, you're still like buzzing. I've just done this HYROX, now I can come back and train. Whereas if you go away and you're just drinking, you come back and you're thinking, oh, I'm back to work, I don't get a drink again. Yeah. It's having that like positive relationship to the thing that you're doing. 100%. And like we said, with racing, sometimes taking that pressure off yourself and enjoying it, you'll probably get a better time. Yeah. I found that in most races, even like the 10Ks and stuff. I've ran past at Aintree half marathon, like someone dressed as a dinosaur, and they were going faster than me. I was like, what's going on? And then the Wigan half marathon, that was like 2 years ago, there was a bloke juggling all the way around, but he came third. Really? Third out of everyone in Wigan, he was juggling the whole way around. And I was just like, that is fucking nuts.
I've just done part run and then at Widnes at weekend, yeah. Anyway, my mate who I raced with in Dublin last week, Dave O'Toole, he said, 2 laps around this park. It's like, all right, yeah. Starts running. There's a guy with a push pram. Yeah. He's in front of me. I'm thinking, I can't catch him. But I'm going balls deep. Running. He's pushing this pram. I'm thinking, wow, I can't get near you. Do you know that he must have been running at the same pace as me because he just weren't getting any further away, but he weren't getting any closer. Anyway, I ended up catching him, taking him over, and then on I think it was a lap and a half, I thought, right, I'll put it in now. It's like end at run. Yeah. But I lost my watch in Birmingham. Clipped it off barrier, so if anyone's seen me watch Garmin Phoenix 5X, I want it back. So I had no watch, so I'm running anyway. So I didn't know the distance where I was at, so I'm just going off 2 laps. Started sending it. Anyway, it goes round and I'm watching the people. The guy who won it was like 16-20. So I could see him in front. I'm thinking, right, following him like round this loop. Anyway, he didn't come in. I'm thinking, wow. It was 3.5 laps.
Oh, no way.
So I'd spent my energy. Because come in and I messaged him. I said, "You said 2 laps," and like absolutely blitzed myself.
Yeah, that's a lot of people get the laps wrong at HYROX as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Because you're halfway around and you're just like, what is going on?
Yeah, that's what it is. There's laws to think about, you know.
Would you ever do a Ironman / triathlon again? I know we spoke about it before we started filming.
If I did an Ironman, I wouldn't do a full one. I'd do an half, but I'd train for it.
How did you find the half that you did?
Well, I didn't train for it, so it was the worst. Well, the first bit was all right, but the run, which I was looking forward to, was the worst. 2 hours 45 of my life. Do you know when like you're thinking, your mindset's right, I'm ready for this run now, and my body's never experienced them distances in swimming, in biking, even running. But because I knew I was a decent runner, I thought, I'll smash it. Folded in half, literally within 250 metres.
They're hitting the wall. Everyone keeps going on about it, and like, I've got the marathon booked next month, and everyone's messaging like, "Oh, you're gonna hit like the wall and things like that." And it's scary, mate. I feel like the only time I've ever got close to was when we done this burpee challenge, like at the start of this year. But that was a different feeling. You know, obviously you're not running. You've got time to rest. There's food and drinks around you and stuff. But like, have you been to that point where it's right? My body's just giving in on me.
So, with the half Ironman, what I did, never I'd given it big one to in car with my girlfriend. See road closures. Oh, I'd smash that with no training. Easy. Anyway, gets a message, confirmation. Half Ironman's booked. Like that. And then that's how I met Mark Dean. He's a good friend of my girlfriend's. Anyway, I said, just see if he'll come, like sort of teach me how to swim. Never put a wetsuit on or anything. Yeah, I'll meet him down at Yarrow. Goes down and pulling my wetsuit out of a package. Put it on. Have you ever been like, nah? I said, oh, you're mad, you. Anyway, gets in. Boom, starts swimming. He's gone. Like, you all right? Like, yeah. I thought, I can't learn how to swim now. I'm just going to have to
just go for it.
Dive in at deep end. Swam. Swallowing loads of water. Breaststroke for a little bit. Try the front crawl technique. Swallowing water. Breaststroke. And then it clicked. Like laughing to myself underwater, right? Yeah, my shoulders have got this endurance for, get me there. Gets on bike, and then I couldn't fuel because I took on too much water. But the pains in my stomach was unbelievable. Like there's blue algae in there and all sorts in that penny flask. It's ruthless. Green algae, whatever it is. Gets to HYROX, and then it's the last probably 4 miles into Bolton then. And then I'm on bike, and I could feel like it was, how I can describe it, like worms swimming through my quads. I was like, wow. Do every now and again, woof.
Yeah.
I was thinking, wow, I've never experienced that before. That can't be good. And then, anyway, it's getting closer to time. Right, I'm going to smash this run, boom. Transition change, boom. Sets off running. I'm like, wow. Legs was stuck in the mud. Gets 200 metres, 250 metres in, boom. Literally put on my back.
Yeah.
With cramp.
Would you say that's because you couldn't fuel?
I'd say a big part of it was I couldn't fuel, but also a big part, I've never been on a bike for more than an hour.
Run. Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I've never been on a bike more than an hour and never swam before it.
Yeah.
So it's just unprepared. If your body's never experienced that, you can't throw the full works at it. Do you know what I mean? Because it'll just eat you up. Same with an HYROX.
Yeah.
They'll eat you up, do you know? And anyways, and it ends up flushing this cramp out, run again, and then it dropped me behind Town Hall. Mark Dean's come flying past me on his like second lap. You all right? And then I hobbled back up and then managed to run for it. It's 2 hours 45 for a half marathon. It's like, I was like, wow.
Yeah, and you're obviously used to just smashing times out.
Yeah, and I've never done an half marathon at that point, but it was. If I went out and did a half marathon now, I know I could manage it. Do you know what I mean? I probably used to do what 8 milers. Do you know, probably maximum. Yeah. But then when you're putting a bit more distance in it, and then involving a bike and a swim, it's just, if you're not prepared,
you have
game
to.
over.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember when I did it with a lad, the chest one that was on about before, that we had to get used to the swimming going into the bike and then the bike going into the run. Yeah. But it's hard to train for as well, because like with a HYROX at gyms now, they're all affiliated. You can go and you can do the simulation. Yeah. Whereas something like that, it is difficult unless you're going to say like.
They take over your life.
Yeah, the time, mate.
Do you know what I mean?
2, 3, 4 hours sometimes a day. Just
session.
Biking, swimming, running. It can be full on. Whereas with the HYROX, we've just done like full session there, 50 minutes. Yeah. Mega.
Yeah.
You got everything needed sort of thing. And then you can do your running like another time.
Yeah.
And how would you structure like a week of training at the minute for yourself?
So now I'm in this block, which I'm sticking to, fingers crossed. So Monday was rest day. Yeah. But just to get my head back in the game, because this is my second week on it, I did a 5K trail. And I've not been on them since I did an ultra, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I just did that to, just slow 28 minutes, 5K, just to get my head back in the, right, you're in the zone now. Tuesday, I do compounds, but I just changed that, to suit a session for today. Might do that later on. I'm in a bit of a testing. So I've got one more test to do, which is a 2.5K road run, which is uphill. I do that every year, and just see where I'm at. But I've just told Camfort put that into my test, and then obviously I'll test that closer to race day. All these strength tests what I've done.
Do you find that really good for seeing progress? I know some people do it, but a lot of people don't. Like having like a metric of, like, say, 2.5K run on a road uphill or 1 kilometre ski to like look back on and see if you're actually improving.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's just like you say, it's data. When you start getting to more experienced and you want to shave these seconds off and minutes if you can. Like a minute's a long time to shave off in a HYROX. But you want to be shaving seconds off, so then you've got the fix my run thing, these tests what I'm doing now with strength, and it's like I feel fit now. But then in 8 weeks, once I've done them tests where I'm fit, in 8 weeks if I'm blowing them out the water, I'm obviously in a much better position. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And that gives you confidence as well.
That's give me confidence, yeah.
So you do your rest, but you've obviously done that little trail run Monday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, we've done that session, which is like ergs, kind of HYROX.
Yeah. So I'll do compounds on a Tuesday, which will be four reps of 5 rounds, back squat, deadlift, shoulder press, bench press, just your
typical
your
strength.
Basics, your basic, like, that have been around for donkey's years.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday is my 2.5K test run, which is tomorrow. Thursday, do a bit of bodybuilding, arms, and a bit of erg work. Friday, it's more like a strength HYROX class. Saturday, park run, just to get that race mentality, and obviously you're surrounded by 400
people who are going for it as well.
Who are going. They're not necessarily racing, but it just gives you that atmosphere to like, it's on.
Yeah.
You know. And then Saturday dinner time, do a class with another coach, what we've just introduced at Faction in Widnes. He's a like high level CrossFit coach.
Sick.
Got people to games and stuff like that. So just another different set of eyes and knowledge on your training. And then Sunday's another HYROX class, which is 40 to 60 people, all very competitive, and you know, just gives you that buzz of going against each other.
And what it'd be like on the day. Yeah, definitely. A lot of people can miss out on that sometimes, where they're obviously doing training on their own, they're following the program that they might have online and stuff. I think the classes and that environment is so important because that's what it's like on the day.
Yeah.
You've got someone literally right next to you. Like I said, at Manchester now, it's literally like sardines.
Yeah.
So you need that. You need somebody next to you. Like when we were doing that workout today, it's like sometimes you just have a look up and it's like, right, what can I do to go as quick as him or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you more competitive. And 100%. A lot of people miss out on that. Like the bodybuilding style training is mega. I love it so much, where you can just put your headphones on, get your graph done, push yourself as hard as you can. But even that, if there's someone with you, you get an extra 2-3 reps out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes people are on the journey of doing a HYROX and stuff, but they miss out on the community and the side of it where you are training with other people who are doing it as well. But I think you kind of get amongst it the more you do the HYROX training and the
100%.
different styles of training.
You could go probably to any gym.
Yeah.
And there'll be a community within the HYROX community. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that's what's good about it. Like you can say, like, mingle with Sharon from Scarborough. You know, everyone's there to better themselves. Everyone's there to. You know, it don't matter who you're training with, as long as everyone's hyping each other and buzzing 100%. Each other. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
What's your biggest goal with HYROX now? What do you see yourself doing in, say, 12 months' time?
In 12 months, I want to be getting under an hour in pro.
Sick.
And then, if I get that Elite 15 spot, and then hopefully get that, I'll try for that, you know?
Yeah.
I want to just see how if I commit to these 8 weeks, which I've never done before, see where I'm at from there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's another thing with the food as well. I need to eat more to get that extra weight.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I'm committing all this stuff into training, then adding that food in, it's another
1%er.
It's another 1%er, but it's another thing you've got to think about.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? It's too much for the brain. Your brain can't. You can't keep it. You can't keep it up.
Yeah.
You can't be consistent with it because you're not used to it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like with the training as well. It's like you can. That's why you do blocks, because you can manage it for 8 weeks or 12 weeks, but then once you get to that and you do a race or you've hit that goal, then your body needs a break. You need to
dial down the training.
Yeah, dial down the training, because you can't keep it up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then you'll need a break from it, and then you go again. Do you know what I mean? It's a relationship, innit?
Yeah.
Fitness is a relationship. You have good days, you have bad days, you have good blocks, you have bad blocks, you have, like, sometimes I can't even be arsed training. Do you know what I mean? Some days I don't train. It's like and some people need to train every day just for the mental side of it, whereas I don't need to do that. Like in the past, I just train when I want to train, and I've luckily been all right doing it. You know.
Yeah.
But you can't be 100% every day.
No.
It's impossible.
You'll end up burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah, and I've done it. I've trained three 3 times a day, and you know, for months at a time. It's like my body can't do that.
Yeah.
And especially I'm getting older now. It's taking longer for it to recover. It's just.
What's that sign for you where you feel like you're close to that overtraining or burnout? Is it just fatigue constantly?
Yeah, fatigue. Like if I'm going into a training session and I'm like,
yeah,
do you know, lagging, I was like, I'm doing too much here.
Or your pace isn't the same and things like
pace,
that.
And then it's what's the point in doing it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you're not gaining anything. You're just working on tired muscles and tired brain, and it's your body can't do it. You go in the gym and you're absolutely aching and you can't walk, and then you're doing a session like you're doing that at 40%. Like it's pointless.
Yeah, it's not bringing you any sort of
and
progress.
I know millions of not millions. I know probably 50 plus people who all overtrain. Do you know, at my class? Mark's a big thing. He overtrains. I think he overtrains.
He was saying that when he done the podcast.
Do you know what I mean? He's done too much.
Yeah.
The more I was training, and then I was racing. This is like when it first started coming back. I was blasting it, and then I just weren't getting any better. I dialed it right back, like probably training 3 good sessions a week, and my performance was just going woof.
Yeah.
Do you know, through the roof, knocking 4 minutes off. Do you know what I mean?
You're allowing your body to recover.
I'm allowing my body to recover, and then when it comes to race week, I won't train race week. I'll just get the body flowing. Do you know, a bit of stretching, maybe flush a bit of blood through the legs on a bike or something, and then train. Where people they'll train right up to it, and then have 1 day off
before the HYROX.
Before the HYROX, it's you're not gonna gain any fitness.
I met last week.
You're just gonna be disappointed because you're going all in, and then you're racing, and then you look at that board when you're finished and think, I've been training so hard. And
for the last week.
Yeah.
It's like the 6-pack before Ibiza sort of thing, where it's like, I'm just going to start training abs now 2 weeks before I go away.
Yeah.
Like, what are you expecting to happen, mate?
Yeah. Or it's like you train up to Ibiza, get the body you want. Second day, you come down, you're like, it's gone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? All that water, what you've been dehydrating yourself, or the food that you've not been. As soon as you get hold of that food, and as soon as you start having them burgers by pool and going out, boom, that your body's just going like a magnet. Yeah. Because it's not had it.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's holding all the water from that food, and you just go plump back up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think with the overtraining and stuff, there's a common mentality or probably a misconception that people have where it's like, no days off. David Goggins, I've got to go and train. I've got to go and train. And I think just hearing you mention it there, somebody who's getting on the podiums and getting the flags at HYROX and things and setting records for like the Deadly Dozen, it's good for people to hear that and then think, sometimes I do just need to rest.
Yeah,
and
listen
not
to
full
your
throttle
body.
myself. Because some people working 9 to 5s, training 4 a.m. and then doing a session in the evening, and then they're just burning out towards the weekend and just completely ruining themselves. Like yourself, managing a job and still training. How do you find that?
Because like in the past I've only like committed to say like 3 decent sessions, and the rest is like I've probably had a break or done very light. It's manageable. But say at work, say I could be loading a job up with concrete block when a pallet comes, or 4 or 5 pallet comes, and you're loading them block up there, which are 15 key a block, 72 blocks on a pallet. It's a lot of blocks. Up a ladder on your shoulder. It's taxing. You know what I mean? Them quads. That's where your endurance. That's where my endurance comes from. Do you know what I mean? But you've just got to be smart with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Work smart, not hard.
And listen to your body.
Yeah, listen to your body.
Like the signs of fatigue, like when you're mentally gone or your pace isn't the same, I think they're so important, like going into a session. And like you said, if those sessions aren't 100%, you're not going to develop as much as you could.
No.
100%. One of the things I wanted to ask you about as well was the trail run. How did you find that? And What was your experience when you did that?
Trail run.
Up Snowdon.
Oh, the ultra.
The ultra.
That was an experience. So again, I was training for it, but I'd only done, I think, 32k was my longest run, and then started like going back down, and then I just set myself you need to be doing half a marathon every Friday.
Yeah.
You know, in the trails, that was like my minimum, and then coming up to it, I was doing half a marathon, you know, on the Friday, and then running through the week or whatever, 10k on a Tuesday morning. But you need to be running for hours.
Yeah.
You need to be running for hours, do you know?
What was the distance for that?
It was 47 mile.
But it was up and down Snowdon.
3,600 and odd meter
wow.
climb. And I ended up doing 50 mile because I went the wrong way because my watch died. My battery died. I had no food, no water, and I missed this. I went off route 200 meters from the last station, which I was thinking, right, refuel and 8 mile to finish. Anyway, I got to this thing, you have no map, I'm looking, so I'm thinking, which way, there's nobody about.
Yeah.
So I just went down this road, I'm thinking, we're on road here, I'm going the wrong way. But I had no check, because I didn't know where I was going. Just followed this road, and then it come to a main road, and then I seen the signs for Betty's Cohen, which was where the start line was and the finish line. 4 miles. I was like, wow. started to run. No, well, to be honest, I sat there for 5 minutes. It was a ghost town. There was no one there. I was like, look, I was thinking, no food. I'm sucking on my straw, just like getting nothing out of it. I was thinking, wow. I thought, right, just sooner you get it done, sooner you
can chill out.
Finish, yeah. So it starts running, but you have a GPS tracker, and I had a few, like probably 10 people come down, you know, supporting me. So I thought, they're gonna come because they're gonna see me gone off track. I just like I know, you know, my people. So I thought, right, they're gonna come anyway. So I'm running, and then next thing, boom, cramp kicked in because I can't no fuel myself. And then I had to stop, like literally for 5 minutes, and you know, just flush it out. And then I'd walk, start running again, and then boom, straight away kicking again. So I thought, I'm just gonna have to walk because I'm just taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You know, trying to run. But that's just like in my head, you know, my mindset, like run. It's a run. This is a race. You need to be. Anyway, next thing, my mate comes flashing me. What are you doing? Why are you not running? I said, I can't run. I'm not, like, I'm cramping up. It's pointless. I'm hobbling, like. Anyway, my girlfriend's brother come. He's like, salt sticks. Swallowed a load of them. And then I could run. Then I had a bit of digging me a bottle of water. And then just basically just hobbled back. Yeah. You know, they're all outside of me, 3 of them, you know, running with me.
Yeah, that's mega.
I had my dog, she was running outside of me, and it just, you know, just finished it off nice, even though I did the extra, and, you know, crossed the line. I think I come 35th.
That's mint.
For my first, you know, ultra.
Yeah, that's really good.
But same again, if you've not done them distances, you
have to.
You have
get yourself
to train
accustomed to it. Yeah,
100%. Like, I'm just that mindset. Yeah, I'll finish anything.
Yeah,
you know, start, and I will finish it, but it'll be uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable anyway, but
be more uncomfortable.
Because you're not prepared.
Yeah,
you know, I'm not putting your body through them distances. You're gonna feel it.
Yeah, and up that elevation.
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Would you say that was one of the hardest races you've done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just breaking, like with say HYROX, it's an hour intense, and yeah, your muscles are sore and stuff, but that, like, them ultras, they break your body down. Like, your blisters, your ankles are sore from twisting on rocks, and your knees, you know, from pounding downhill. They just break your body into pieces.
Yeah, and the mental battle as well.
And then your head, because you just like keep going. But if you're strong mindset, you'll conquer anything. You'll finish anything.
And I think having that mindset, like you said, where you sign up and you say, "I'm going to do it."
Yeah.
You've told yourself.
Yeah, told yourself
you have to do
it. You
it.
have to do it.
Yeah.
It was like, I think there was 350 people who entered and 220 finished it.
Oh wow! So a lot of people actually drop off.
Yeah, drop off. Yeah.
Wow, that's mad. And that just shows how much of a mental battle it is.
Yeah, it's they're not them ultras. It's got to be built different to do them. I'm telling you.
I've got one booked next March, mate, and I'm worried. I'm worried, but I'm just trying to get miles in now, like trail runs. I've never really done that.
Yeah.
I've done quite a bit of distance running, not that fast, but like I've ran a long period of time.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get used to like you said, even the twisting your ankles and wearing the right shoes.
Yeah.
Even I know people who do like the 100 miles. There's like a massive thing on changing your socks and shoes halfway around and stuff, and just little things like that.
There was so you set off at the same time as the 50 and the 100.
Ah, right.
So like I finished that 50. I thought
doing another 50.
They're out there for, I think the quickest was 36 hours.
And that's the quickest. Wow.
That's the quickest, I think.
Wow.
36 hours, no sleep. You're fueling.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't want to eat food because you're all eating like granola bars. You're not eating proper food, so it's just sugar in you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your body's just, you don't want to eat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Then you don't want to drink these electrolytes and these salt drinks or whatever. It's because it's not a nice taste.
Yeah.
Do you know? And then your body's just like, I've been drinking this now for 10 hours. It's hanging. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We had when we done that 24-hour burpee thing, we had the salt drinks and stuff, mate. And I'm telling you now, I don't think I can ever have that flavour again.
Yeah.
It was almost like when you have a certain alcohol when you throw up on it. The night after, literally, we was having the same citrus flavoured electrolyte, and it got to like, I think it was hour like 16, and it was just making me gag.
Yeah.
It was horrible. And like you said, it's because your body probably doesn't want it.
Yeah, and you're probably not used to it. So say if you go on these runs and getting these distances in, that's where you practice it.
Yeah.
My body's never ate that food, them granola bars or them sweets or them for that period of time. So it's not used to. It's like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you've got to treat. There's so much stuff involved in any race you do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that you've got to learn about.
The nutrition and getting your body used to stuff and training your body and training your head and knowing when to have the food, when to not have the food. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what's so good about it as well, that the fitness community and the race is that, like, you're constantly learning.
Yeah, you can go on YouTube and say, watch these podcasts or watch people who've experienced these things, and you can use it, but your body will only do what you teach your body to do. Otherwise, you'll just be stuck in that. Whereas I don't want to eat this food because it's not been there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, mate. What a way, I'd say, to wrap up this episode.
Yeah.
100%. I think a lot of people who've listened will have learnt a lot from this, and I appreciate you coming on.
No, thanks for having me.
And for anyone who's looking to follow you on Instagram or look after your journey, for like the HYROXs that you've got coming up, where would they go to?
Instagram, it'd be Billy Blower, and I train coached by Phase 7.
Sick. Both on Instagram.
Both on Instagram.
I'll leave them both in the description as well on this video. But for anyone who's not already subscribed on YouTube, followed on Spotify, make sure that you are, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for having me.